Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. Occasionally we do make videos about, and I only try to do this in broad strokes, regarding immigration policy in countries around Thailand. I also try, or I kind of prefer, if you will, to really only discuss those countries where it's most likely you're going to see a so-called border run or visa run from Thailand. Haven't done one of these in a while because frankly it hasn't been overly pertinent, but there have been enough changes in Vietnam immigration policy or reported Vietnamese immigration policy to warrant, I think, this video. And there's also been some rumors and things on the internet that I think might be of interest to folks watching this video. Again, please note, this is on Vietnamese immigration, but we're kind of looking from it, we're kind of taking it from the standpoint, sort of looking at it tangentially. Again, folks who may be looking to do border runs or visa runs in the region, although again, that's not going to be something really frequent. Also, you know, Vietnam, especially going back about a year ago, a lot of expats out here in Thailand were beginning to sort of divide up their time oftentimes between Vietnam and Thailand. They were also, a lot of folks were talking about making a major change of location and going to Vietnam in place of Thailand. So again, I think this is pertinent sort of regionally, and I think there are those in our audience which primarily deals with Thailand who may find this stuff of interest just sort of in a broader sense. I came upon all of this, a friend and a viewer of our channel sent me a link to a YouTube video actually, and it's from the channel Cheap Charlie Live. It says, "Bad news out of Vietnam. Is this an era of traveler xenophobia?" Ends with a question mark. Again, that's Cheap Charlie Live. I'm not going to really do any clips or anything from that. I urge those who are watching this to go check out that video. In that video, the gentleman in the video, and I had never seen this channel before, so take everything I'm saying here with a grain of salt, you know, and do your own research. But basically, he was talking about the fact that Vietnam is effectively, you know, sort of closed down for all intents and purposes. That was the contention he was making. It was sort of closed down for all intents and purposes to tourists as a practical matter. Looks like, you know, aside from diplomats, etc., mostly the only group of people that are foreign nationals that are going to be able to get in, looks like, are those who are work permitted over there. Again, how work permits work and everything in Vietnam, way beyond the scope of this video. We're just talking about this in kind of a broad sense. Now, it also seems, and I stress seems, again, those who are in Vietnam, those who are looking to go to Vietnam, probably a good idea to do a lot more research than just this video. This is just kind of a topical video, and we're really going to just scratch the surface here. But it also seems like it may not be possible to continue to update visa status from within the country under certain circumstances. Again, it seems that way. That appears from our research to be what's going on, although, you know, it's hard to say. You know, there's a lot on the internet out there about Thai immigration that's wildly off base from what's actually going on the ground here. So again, do your own research on this, but it seems it's at least getting more difficult to extend status once in Vietnam, or the window for being able to do so is coming to an end. I'll get to that in a minute. The other thing that has happened, and I suspect will have a tremendous impact on folks' desire to go to Vietnam, at least in the immediate future, is it does appear they have increased their quarantine from a 14-day quarantine period up to a 21-day quarantine period. So that's a pretty major thing. I came upon some of this information via Vietnam-briefing.com. That's Vietnam-briefing.com. And the article is titled COVID-19 in Vietnam, Travel Updates and Restrictions. This was May 5th, 2021. And just quoting directly, Vietnam has suspended the entry of all foreigners since March 22, 2020, until further notice to limit the spread of COVID-19. The measure will not apply to diplomats, officials, foreign investors, experts, and skilled workers. So again, if you sort of reason but in the negative, again, it doesn't look like it's going to be possible for tourists to enter, but foreign investors, experts, skilled workers, that sounds akin to work permit holders. Again, folks that are looking at this probably want to do further research for themselves. Quoting further, Vietnam's Immigration Department announced automatic visa extension until May 30, 2021. So Again, reasoning by inference and kind of inferring in a negative. Presumably after May 30th, 2021, they may not continue automatic visa extension. I don't know. I want to be clear on that. I do not know if that's actually the case, and you probably should do your own research, especially those watching in Vietnam. You're going to be able to find out far more on the ground over there than you're going to be able to find out directly from this video. But those looking to travel in, is probably something to be aware of, as perhaps in-country visa extension may not be so easy, at least for the time being. And then finally, Vietnam's Ministry of Health extended the mandatory quarantine period to 21 days from the previous 14-day requirement from May 5th. So starting May 5th, 2021, which was not too long ago as of the time of this video, it now appears Vietnam has a 3-week quarantine period, as opposed to, for example, here in Thailand, we're still dealing with a 14-day quarantine period. There doesn't appear to be anything out there that I can see that causes me to believe Thailand's going to go down this route. In fact, quite the opposite. It looks to me like they're trying to open, especially in light of things like the Phuket Sandbox. They've discussed the Pattaya Sandbox. They're rolling out the vaccination program here in June. So I personally think Thailand is kind of moving, what ostensibly at least, in sort of another direction. But I wanted to go ahead and make this video again because I know a lot of people that are here in this region that are oftentimes even looking at Thai immigration. They're looking at things also. Vietnam kind of comes up when they're doing their analysis of where to stay. Again, that other video, Bad News Out of Vietnam, Is This an Era of Traveler Xenophobia? That's Cheap Charlie Live. That's the channel. Interesting video. Again, don't know if everything contained therein is absolutely factually accurate, but I'm always interested to see video both in Thailand and in the region from folks that are on the ground and kind of given their, even if it's just anecdotal information as to what's going on, I sometimes find it can be useful.